Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial. And today we've got a fun Videos Worth 1,000 Words video for you that answers a question that I've actually got relatively commonly. And I know the answer, but it's hard to prove the answer. It's one thing to say it, it's another to be able to show it. And finally, we're able to show the answer to this question. One of my coworkers has been going through the National Archives pictures of the battleship, and she's found a great series of pictures taken during the Vietnam War. And it seems to be, the ones I've seen so far, and I haven't had a chance to go through all of them yet, seem to be from reactivation of the ship through her going to the Panama Canal on her way to Long Beach and then ultimately Vietnam. So these would probably be taking place in the first half of 1968. And they're, by and large, color photographs, really high-resolution photographs that show a lot of just average life on board the ship. Battleship New Jersey at this point has just been reactivated or is just about to be reactivated, and so the work that they're doing is novel, and it's being highly documented for publicity. There's always a lot of publicity when Battleship New Jersey is brought back into service because oftentimes the Navy has to justify that they're bringing this big, expensive, nominally obsolete ship back. But not just are they trying to justify that they have done it, they're often trying to build up enough support to bring back her sister ships as well. So, fortunately, they take a lot of photographs to document the ship, show what life is like on board, and then those pictures have been preserved and are at the National Archives and available for folks like us to look at. So here's the picture. It's a real simple picture of a sailor applying grease to one of the 16-inch guns. You can see where he's laying at the breech end of the gun towards the aft end of the gun, or the turret end of the gun, is that black rubberized canvas bloomer. And closer to the bottom corner, further away from the sailor in the top corner, that's going towards the muzzle end of the gun facing out. On New Jersey and Missouri, you often see this part of the gun in a golden color, and people always assume that that means that it's bronze. That's a reasonable assumption to make, honestly. What you're looking at is the part of the gun that recoils into the bloomer. That recoil is about 42 inches, just less than 4 feet. And so that part of the barrel is unpainted. And you can see here that it is smooth. And you can even see, if you look in closely, the spirals, the curved lines going over that gun barrel from where it was machined to that round shape. And so this is bare, smooth metal right here. And because that's a sliding piece and it's got to come into contact with this metal band that attaches the bloomer in place, you would think that that piece would be a bronze or a metal like that that you often see on chafing surfaces on the ship. But that's not the case. If it was just metal on metal, because those guns are usually elevated, the saluting angle is 20 degrees, that's how we have the guns elevated nowadays, it means that any rainwater that hits those barrels stays on them and runs down. So if it was just a brass piece or a bronze piece with the metal collar over it, that wouldn't be waterproof, and water would be able to run straight down the barrel to the breech of the gun inside the turret. Having water inside your gun turret where your ammunition is doesn't make sense because the water will destroy the powder. It will prevent it from going off. And it removes the whole point of having the bloomers. The bloomers are just there to keep water from getting into the front of the gun because there's a big oval cut out of it that allows the barrel to elevate and depress. And so that rubberized canvas bloomer goes over it to keep it watertight. So, if metal on metal doesn't work, how do you keep water from running down the barrel while still allowing it to slide? The answer is grease. Grease is hydrophobic, so it will cause water to bead on top of it. And it's a great lubricant, so when the gun recoils its 42 inches into the bloomer and then back out again, the grease will allow that to happen smoothly without metal on metal chafing. And because of that grease, you don't need a chafing metal like a brass or a bronze. You can have your steel gun barrel there. This means that we're not going to have dissimilar metals, i.e. our gun barrel made out of steel for part of it, brass for another part, that's going to cause corrosion issues. Dissimilar metal corrosion is very, very common, and it's a huge problem. So being able to make this as like one homogeneous steel is going to make it more resistant to corrosion. It will also allow you to leave that section unpainted. If you get paint on there and it recoils, and then you've got chafing, so now that paint is peeling off, and then it's getting stuck in there, so it's not recoiling smoothly, causes all sorts of problems. But if you don't paint it, it'll just rust if it's bare steel. That's where the grease comes in also. Not only will it prevent chafing and be a good lubricant, it will also prevent water from getting through the grease to that steel barrel and allowing it to rust. So it's a good preservative, it's a good lubricant, it allows the gun to do what it needs to do. On New Jersey and Missouri, that grease is this gold yellowish color. And you can see that very clearly in this picture of the sailor applying it. I do love this picture. He's just applying it. He's got a bunch of it in his hand, and he's just smearing it on there with his hands. He needs to apply so much grease to this thing. You can see it's been completely cleaned off. Maybe it's because the ship is just coming out of mothballs. Maybe they've had to clean it off for something else after a gun shoot or whatever, and now they're just reapplying it. Hard to say for certain. The other pictures in this series don't really help with that. But you can see them applying it here. If you look at pictures of Wisconsin and Iowa in the 1980s, you'll see that that section on them is a black color instead of a gold color. My best guess for this is that they're using a black colored grease instead of the gold colored grease being used on New Jersey and Missouri. Probably the reason for this is that Iowa and Wisconsin are based in the Atlantic. I believe they're both operating out of Norfolk for much of the 80s. New Jersey and Missouri are both based out of Long Beach, California in the Pacific for the 1980s. So it seems like those two different Navy yards, or maybe those two different fleet numbers, are just getting different types of grease, and that's just what's available, the black colored kind or the gold colored kind. That's why they look different depending on what ship you're looking at. And so there you have it. It is steel. It is not a bronze or brass sleeve around that part of the gun. And the color there is for the grease. If you come and visit Battleship New Jersey today, you'll see that we have replicated that color on the ends of the guns. We've done it with paint to look like it would have greased in service. We're not able to fire the guns, so we don't have to worry about it being bare steel. The paint does last a lot longer than the grease. I don't have to climb up there like this sailor with 2 fistfuls of grease and smear it all over there every couple of weeks like they must have done on this ship when she was in service. So you will see an homage to this color when you come and visit the Battleship today, but it is not still a grease like it's supposed to be. Interestingly, the Battleship, like, we've got lots of pictures of the guns firing and lots of pictures of them doing extraordinary things, but it's kind of extraordinary when we're able to find pictures like this one of sailors just doing the average, everyday type of work around the ship. What's something like generic day-to-day that the crew would have done that you'd like to see a video about in the future, that you hope we find pictures of? Let us know in the comment section down below. Maybe if we can find another picture like this in the National Archives, we'll do another similar video. Again, let us know, comment section down below. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State, also from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. We really appreciate your support. It allows us to send staff members out and do research on the ship. There's a link in the description below that'll allow you to donate to support the ship, or you can support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing so more people find about the museum and our channel. Thanks for watching.